something I can see peering out of that black hole, two luminous discs. The eyes, it might be a face, might be almost a... Good heavens, something wriggling out of the shadow like a gray snake. Now it's another one, and another one, and another one. They look like tentacles to me. Oh, yeah, I can see the thing's body now. It's large as a bear. It glistens like wet leather, but that face, ladies and gentlemen, it's indescribable. I can hardly force myself to keep looking at it. It's so awful. The eyes are black, and they gleam like a serpent. The mouth is a kind of V-shape with saliva dripping from its rimless lips that seem to quiver and pulsate.
When we last left our players, the two of you had a kind of illuminating conversation with Alice Creek about just who her brother was. I would certainly hope that you gained some insights from that into the dear departed Philip Creek. But also, you gained some insights into who he was from raiding his bedroom. When we last left the two of you, you had specifically just left the Creek estate after, again, those conversations and discoveries. Walking by the boat and giving it a quick inspection, although not really finding anything of note.
Oops.
And then noting that the two areas that you had really left to explore, although I assure you there are slightly more, are the boathouse and the old church that was mentioned by Alice Creek, and the records. So, once again, as always, Lake Arkansas is yours to roam.
But do we want to go to the church first since it's on our way back into town anywho?
Sure.
Okay.
I think that seems like a good use of our time. And, gas or whatever.
Yeah. We've not discussed gas prices in this alternate future. Let's get into that.
Oh god. I was gonna say, I'm really enjoying not having to think about gas prices.
Whatever, the government's paying for it anyway.
That is true.
Texas fuel prices 2020. Let's see if we can find a very detailed chart or website about that.
It's still like
you might want to do
$2.
2019 because crucially this is a no COVID AU.
Oh, that's true. I was hoping, yeah, I was still thinking I could find February 2020, but either way, I'm not actually going to look that up.
Yeah, so to the church we go. Hi ho, hi ho.
It's pretty overgrown, right?
Oh, absolutely. You drive back down that dirt road that you had previously come up on the way to the Creek Estate, and you can see the church in between the various kind of pillar-like trees. It is off in the distance, I should say. It is definitely kind of buried a little bit back in whatever forestry is between you and the church. And the kind of dirt road, which would perhaps indicate when people last went to this area regularly, is incredibly undermaintained. There's all sorts of kind of scrub brush and whatnot. There's like barely even a footpath to the front entrance of this building. The outside of the church is white, or certainly used to be, although that is kind of grayed and greened with mildew and moss and decay over time. It is a building that I believe I stated was first built in like 1875 or somewhere about 1880 perhaps. So it is simple perhaps for its time. It's not very elaborate. Obviously this is a rural community, hardly the brickwork you would expect from any majestic cathedral built in New York or anything like that around the same time. Certainly Trinity Cathedral, this is not. This is just a very straightforward rectangular building, with a angular triangular roof and like a little side office, and a bunch of crosses in the ground.
Of course.
Next to it.
Do those crosses look like they are marking gravestones, or is it just like, boy, we do love crosses here?
Oh, no, it's just the National Cross Enthusiast Museum.
Okay.
No, they're graves.
Okay. In the front?
No, off to the side.
Okay. Interesting.
That'd be so funny if they're like, just like the look of them.
I don't know.
Which is actually usually my reaction to graveyards. Actually, in general, it's like, yeah, these look nice. I like driving past historic cemeteries and whatnot. If that makes me a freak, it doesn't. That's pretty normal.
That's pretty normal.
Yeah, I know. I almost said, also for what it's worth, instead of historic, I almost said vintage, which is the wrong vibe.
Retro.
Incredible.
Bit of a retro vibe to this cemetery. Historic vibe to this cemetery.
Okay. Well, I guess nothing we can do but start, like, huffing our way through the brush and see if we can get inside or get around back or something.
Yeah, this is one of those things where, like, I'd like to be back to the van and move it before Alice, like, drives past and sees that we've just parked the van and disappeared.
Oops.
Just looking like total freaks.
Hanging out at the old church. I mean, if it's all just brush, we might even be able to, like, drive around back. Go off-roading. Was it twa?
Do we think the van can support off-roading?
Do you think the van can support off-roading?
No.
We're not fucking... We're
Probably
not like
not.
a four-wheel drive going over mountains. We're driving off into some dry, probably, dirt.
Yeah, that's true.
With some branches or whatever. I think it's probably fine. You could do that in most cars.
Yeah, I'll just, like, pull off kind of into the trees, so it's perhaps not immediately obvious that we're just, like, parked
This
to
bitch
go visit the dilapidated church.
went, like, full ass up a mountain in the middle of, like, horrible snow.
Yeah, that is true. We may have been unrealistic about the capabilities of the van.
I mean, I don't think the government would give you a van that well. I don't think. You like how I just went through third puberty there? I don't think you would get a government van when you're meant for doing, like, investigations if you weren't able to, like, you know, if you had to stick entirely to, like, paved roads.
That is very true. There's definitely elements of having to go fuck around in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah. The suspension on this bitch is intact.
Alright. So yeah, I will kind of pull off into the trees to screen the presence of the van a little bit from the casual observer.
Of course.
What van?
No vans here.
You flip the switch on the dash that activates camouflage mode.
Pew.
Get ready, everybody. This van has cloaking technology.
That's right. Technology surpassed Metal Gear. Cool. Let's go investigate. I'm gonna say investigate like a normal person.
Cool. Let's I don't know, I guess let's do a circuit of the building first.
Yeah, sure. See if we can find anything interesting outside before we head inside. Maybe something significant will be on these graves. Like every movie that has a lot of graves, there'll be, like, one guy that's like, he's been dead for 90 years! Investigate? I assume this is an investigate roll?
Yeah!
Does that sound right, Ben? Okay. Do you want to split up, or do you want to investigate as a team? Just in terms of, are we rolling separately or not?
Let's investigate as a team for now.
Okie dokie. What's your investigate?
2.
Mine is also a 2.
Okay. Who's feeling lucky?
Not me. I've been rolling like shit this chapter.
Okay.
I did roll on my initial roll on Google Dice 2 6s, a 5, and a 3. But who knows if I will keep that luck up. Because as stated, I've been rolling like trash these past couple episodes. Okay. Yeah, one of us rolls, and I'll give you a +1.
Okay. Fuck. Alright. That is... Okay, that's 2 negatives, 1 neutral, 1 positive, which works out to a -1, for a total of 2. Because your +1 cancels that out, and then I have a 2 investigate.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay. You can see me make that the fucking gif of the mask swirling around face, like, what the fuck?
The thing is that my mental math is, unreliable. So anytime somebody makes that face, I have to, like, do the math out loud so that I make sure that I'm not, like, completely wrong. Because it happens.
No, okay, yeah, so that's a 2 to investigate. You are correct. Verified.
You're investigating the graveyard specifically?
I mean, I think we're investigating just outside around the whole church.
I think we're kind of just, we're going to do a circuit, check out the graveyard, see what the entrance options for the church are, perhaps try to determine if anybody's been getting in here recently, and if so, how.
For sure. With that in mind, then, you walk up toward the kind of front of the building, and again, it looks very straightforward. Again, there's this kind of double doors up at the front that are kind of arched up into the center. It's one of those kind of... What's that? Oh, actually, I should have looked this up. What's that shape?
Like a pointed arch?
Yeah. There's like a specific...
I think it's... Well, I mean, sometimes it's called a Gothic arch.
Oh, that's it. That's literally it. Thank you. You walk down this kind of beaten dirt path, which has still, despite, all the years that have passed, has still kind of been worn smooth by footprints over time. There is a clear path up to this church, even if it's covered in, again, all sorts of bramble bush and scrub brush and everything. But you walk up to the front and you see these two beautiful, or at least they were beautiful, oaken doors that kind of lead up into a point, into a Gothic arch. To the left of those doors, of course, is like an announcements board, the kind you would see that's just like a little square on the side in a wooden frame that, of course, has, various notes can be pinned to, and up to even 92 Theses, if you wanted. To the right, again, as I mentioned, is this kind of graveyard. There is a mix of wooden crucifixes and maybe more standard stone headstones. This appears to be, something that has kind of lasted the years, and therefore there's kind of many generations of grave markers off to the side. You can perhaps tell directly where the residents of Lake Arkansas have gone over the years. They have remained here, buried next to the old church. Although you don't see anything too particularly modern, of course, perhaps due to the way this town has shrunk over time. As you look behind your shoulder, you may notice that part of the church is missing. There is definitely maybe a hole or two in the roof. Perhaps even a corner or two of that roof that is kind of caved in to one degree or another. Perhaps those wooden beams did not really stand the test of time at all. Whether or not that'll be a danger to you is something that remains to be seen. For that investigative role, I'm going to say, you probably continue to walk through the graveyard, and I have a small list of names that may be of some interest to you, including some things you pick up on as you recognize a handful of names that could be connected to the current residents of Lake Arkansas. You see a person who passed away in the year 1901, a Patricia Goodwin, a Theodore Crick, spelled C-R-I-C-K, who died in 1892, a Father Van Wilder, who died in 1922, and then more recently, one of those big structured wide tombstones that encompasses two graves, with a little portrait in the center. You see a Constance and Eugene Creek, who departed from this world in 2014.
So there was someone older whose name was Crick, and then now there's the Creeks.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Seems reasonable.
Mm-hmm.
But that's it. More than a handful of graves and an old rundown building. Why Constance and Eugene Creek chose to be buried here after so many years of this church clearly being defunct.
The devil!
The devil.
The devil probably, in fact, made them do it.
God, I hate what the devil makes me do.
I mean, I don't know. There's some potentialities. No facts yet. Hokey schmokey. In we go.
Yeah, I guess we go in. I suppose we'll just... Were there any doors besides the front doors?
No.
Okay, well, I guess we can presume that he was either going in the front door or, I don't know, climbing up and going in through a hole in the roof.
If he was going in at all, to be fair, we don't
If he
know,
was going in at all,
still.
that's fair. I don't know, I just have a feeling. Let's start with Occam's razor and try the front door.
Yeah. Do they open, or do we have to, bust them?
They do. There's a little bit of resistance. Perhaps they've warped in their frame, as it were. But yes, eventually you can open the door.
I'll make sure I have a flashlight with me before we go in here.
Yeah, I think I gave my flashlight back. Apparently I still have your radio that you gave me.
Oh, weird.
Yeah. I'll just use my phone flashlight, because I guess I gave your flashlight back to you. Okay. I mean, there's no way I don't have my own flashlight, though.
I was gonna say, of course, I'm sure you have a flashlight.
Whatever, we both have flashlights. There's no way we don't have flashlights. Also, it's the morning.
That's true. It's just, it's we don't know how...
In case we go into a basement or something.
Dark or not, it's gonna be in there. I'm gonna bring my blacklight flashlight as well. And then, I guess also the EMF reader.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So, that just seems like the kind of... We're going, I don't know, ghosts, etc. hunting.
Yeah.
We're going on unfortunately we're going on an anomaly hunt scan we're going on a snark hunt.
We're going on an adventure. Let's do that. We have gear. We have chutzpah. We have a tenuous relationship.
Walking in the front door, flashlight, and EMF reader.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep, walking in the front door, flashlights, blacklight, flashlight, EMF reader.
There are 2 sides of 5 rows of pews lining the sides of this, of the interior of this church. Not all of them are sit-onable. Some of them have given out on one side or another, thus just kind of reducing them to awkward planks on the ground. But you can see the altar, or rather what used to be the altar, it is probably no longer consecrated, at the front of the building, along with its appropriate cross behind it. What denomination this is not entirely clear. Perhaps that didn't matter to the people who sat in it every Sunday when it was first established way back in the day.
Are there any, I'm gonna get the type of book that is in a church wrong, but hymnals?
A Bible?
Do you have hymnals in them? Is that a thing?
So funny that you second guessed yourself like that, but you are 100% correct. It's called a hymnal.
Okay.
Maddie's answer was also extremely funny. The Bible.
Almost everything I know about Christianity is medieval Catholicism, which doesn't help here.
I've been to significantly more Jewish services than Christian services, and I'm either
Incredible.
Jewish or Christian. Anyway, what books they got, though?
It would be hymnals, and there would be hymnals on the back of those various pews. This may not be from the era in which they would supply a bunch of mass-printed Bibles. This is probably the era of the Family Bible.
Okay.
But
Family Bibles.
I don't know. Cool. I'll add a few for flavor.
Okay.
Like sprinkling a pinch of salt over the soup. But I'm just dropping a Bible in the trash.
Don't put a Bible in my soup. That's bad for the Bible and the soup.
I was just gonna kind of maybe pick up one of the hymnals and see if I could get an idea of, when this... I mean, not necessarily when this church stopped being in use, because, who hasn't gone to a religious institution that had, fucking old as shit books because they're really expensive to replace?
Whose history textbooks weren't from 2000?
Yeah, it's like the religious equivalent of when you find the history textbook that still has the USSR in it, and you go, funding issues. Public school. Anyway, I don't know.
Checking out the globe in the classroom and going, what the hell is East Germany?
Yeah. I would like to just I don't know, just like pick up and pop open one of the hymnals to see if I can get an idea of, I don't know, there is information in that book that would mean something to my character when it will
Catholic.
not mean anything to me. He's not Catholic. He's
No, we distinctly decided like 2 episodes ago.
No, he's waspy. He's like I don't know. I'm just trying to get an idea of like, were these printed, are they pre-World War II? Like,
I mean, they have to be, right? If there are people who are buried here who are from, like, the early 1900s.
Let's say the hymnal books that you see are maybe have a nice, shiny, printed by date that has, of course, been worn by about 100 years of time, of 1920.
Damn, they got new ones.
Yeah. Which, from the context that you've received, of course, from the kind of demographic records and historical records of this town, you know to be decades itself after the foundation of this church.
Yeah.
And after the foundation, perhaps even of the settlement.
Yeah. Okay. While Alistair is doing that, I am gonna poke around up front, see if there's any other, like, doors or something to, like, back areas, which I would assume there are. There generally are. But... Or potentially, I don't know, like a door to a basement or something, maybe. That's just kind of like a off-the-cuff kind of,
Is there a big old defiled altar at the front of the... Do you deconsecrate churches when you're done using them? Is that a thing?
Yeah.
Okay. But you don't deconsecrate the... I guess you don't... What? Do you, like, deconsecrate the building but leave the graveyard?
It's complicated. Thanks for asking.
Okay, well, let's not go there then. Let's keep it rolling.
You can explain this to me after, at a later
Listeners,
date. I apologize.
If you're curious, look it up, and then send me an email at steveallthemovies@gmail.com.
Yeah, Matty, there is in fact a door to the right of the altar, and to use terminology I know we're all familiar with, that's house right.
Okay. I would like to,
Okay, good, because I was gonna refer to behind the altar bit as backstage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I walk up to the door and I try and open it, and it says, "This door's locked." And I turn around, and I awkwardly run into a corner. No, I would like to try and open the door, please.
Sure, it is unlocked. It is a simple kind of oak door, again, perhaps a little jammed and warped in its frame, but it gives after just enough force. And you step into kind of an older office that, despite how many years it's been since anyone could have possibly occupied this space, still smells strongly of cigar ash.
Ain't that just the
Impressive.
way?
Ain't that just the way? You can just truly never get it out.
Something, the persistence of memory.
Yeah. Cool. I'm gonna hit and investigate on this. Well, first of all, I'm gonna stick my head out the door and be like, there's an office back here. I'm gonna check it out. If I don't come back in like 10 minutes, I'm dead. And then I'm gonna go back into the office.
Alistair kind of just like is staring in the direction of the door with like a blank look on his face in response to this, and then just like puts down the hymnal and just pulls out the EMF meter and turns it on.
Saint always gives you such a long lead time before you check to see if he's dead or not, and I think that's really funny.
You never know.
If it's like 10 full minutes, what if he gets yanked at like minute 2?
I mean, but what if there's
he's fighting for his life and Alistair waits a full 8 more minutes?
I mean, here's the thing: if it's 10 full minutes, I am definitely dead. That's my thought.
Yeah.
Is I don't want, and also it might take me 10 minutes to do a full like perusal. I need to know I got all that time to do whatever I gotta do. You know, I don't want to be like, check on me in 2 minutes to see if I'm alive. Do your own thing. Be an independent man. I got my own stuff to do. I need my me time. All right, I don't need some. I'm turning into a New Yorker. I just, you are. I need my time. All right. And it's true. If I don't talk to him in 10 minutes, there's no way I'm not dead. It's a fact. I'm going to investigate.
Okay. Cool.
I was about the... Oh my god, I rolled like crap! What the fuck? Okay,
No!
So I was gonna say before I rolled, and before I started talking like a New Yorker, that I was like, it's gonna be so hard for me not to do Saint in a Southern accent after this chapter is over, and then immediately I started talking like I was, like, from Brooklyn. So, apparently that won't matter. You know what, I'm gonna spend a fate point here, because this is something that is important to me. I think that there might be something helpful here. So I'm gonna roll again.
Okay.
This is better. This is something I can live with. So previously I rolled 2 1s, a 4, and a 5. Which, ugh. I got a 1, 2 5s, and a 6 this time, which means in total I rolled a 4. Hee-haw.
Sure. So in addition to the scent of this room, I'm going to say that you are perhaps maybe even taken aback by the amount of mushrooms in this place. There are spots on the ground where the distinction between the wood floor and the kind of mulchy earth underneath it, there's less of a distinction. It just kind of feels like the floor of this place has kind of blended in with the ground, and there's all sorts of like those little, brown kind of wide cap mushrooms popping out here or there in the kind of, again, the dank darkness of this space. Although I will say there are maybe 1 or 2 slits of light coming in from misaligned roof planks that are letting in just little cracks of light here or there, enough that you can see by, maybe without having to turn on your flashlight.
Does this room not have a door?
Although, of course.
Or, a window?
No window.
That doesn't seem up to code.
Most of this building isn't.
I'm calling this in.
What lays before you is a simple, but actually maybe what you're met with is a pretty wide desk. It is not terribly ornate, nor does it seem terribly complicated. Almost entirely utilitarian in its design. Wide enough to hold several books on its surface, which is pretty much all it could be used for back in 1890 or whenever it was first brought into this room. Behind that are 2 portraits. One, of course, of your standard white Jesus, and the other of a very, very, almost upsettingly old man. The kind of old where you look at someone and you just go, that hurts.
You're like,
God?
You have the cartilage in those joints is just gone.
Does it look, is there like a tag on it? Like it says like this was presumably the preacher for this church or something? Or is it just kind of like, figure your own shit out?
You take a step further and you do see the smallest little bronze plaque at the base of the frame that does mention the subject of the portrait, a Father Van Wilder.
Is that the name of the father who was outside? I don't remember. No?
Yeah. That's
okay.
Cool.
Yeah.
Great.
He's got, bald head, the liver spots, maybe the kind of frayed beard, and perhaps a uniform that fits in the portrait, but maybe didn't actually fit in his living days. Just a vicar, a very, very old vicar.
This bitch kept a portrait of himself in his office next to Jesus.
Well, not next to. They're
Maybe
both behind the desk, but they're not like at the same level.
Oh, okay.
Maybe they put it in after he died or something.
Maybe. Cool.
Especially if he was like the OG.
Yeah, this was his situation.
Preacher for this,
Yeah.
If he like founded the church.
Yeah.
That is, for what it's worth, incredibly common.
Okay. Nothing else? That's kind of the... If I start, like, rummaging through drawers and stuff, am I getting anything fun? Or is it kind of like, yeah, this sure is an office?
Sure, you fiddle around on the various parts of the desk, the kind of looking through the various drawers and whatnot. There's one of those kind of waist high, kind of flat drawers that pulls out, perhaps like a little bit of a writing desk, a bunch of very kind of deep drawers on each side, and there's like one little thin drawer up in the top right hand corner, and you notice that the handle for that one is itself a crucifix.
That seems unnerving. Well, I'm gonna hit all of them up, but I'm gonna save the crucifix for last, because that makes me nervous. Save the best for last. You gotta.
For certain. In order, then, from the way I just said them, let's see, in that kind of writing desk pull-out drawer, I'm going to say that there maybe are a couple scraps of paper that have been tucked in there for, again, truly God knows how long, that are, I'm going to say, maybe it's a record of a baptism or something, for a town member whose name you don't recognize and whose living descendants have probably moved out of the area. In those kind of deep drawers, you don't find anything of value. And in that top right-hand drawer with the crucifix knob, it doesn't seem to open at all. Not that it's jammed. I mean, it doesn't seem to be able to open. Like you're just pulling on it. There's no give.
As in, it's a fake drawer? Like it's a piece of wood kind of cut out? Or is in there some kind of locking mechanism that is holding it tightly in place?
I'm going to say you maybe like tap the side of the desk, try to sense if there's any sort of hollow space there, and there doesn't seem to be. I would say it's a fake drawer.
Fascinating. That's Jesus's drawer.
Mm-hmm. Save a drawer for
That's
Jesus.
right.
He's got to put his toothbrush somewhere.
Oh, you know it, brother.
And in a wooden working desk is where it's got.
That's where he's keeping his reading glasses. That's
but otherwise
so odd.
there's kind of the large wooden chair that sits behind the desk, although it's missing a couple of the what do we call those? The dowels that make up the back of a wooden chair, the vertical dowels.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. I don't know if there's a specific word for it. Dowel works
probably
well.
Missing one or two of those. There's two chairs on the other side of the desk, perhaps when the late Father Van Wilder and his successors had business with various people in the office, couples looking to be wed, anything like that. And there's some bookshelves at the back of the room as well.
I got a couple things I want to hit up. First of all, I want to just because I cannot approach this without taking a haunted mansion kind of view of the situation. I'm going to look behind the portraits if I can move them or see if there's anything going on there. We're starting from, like, most ridiculous down to least ridiculous in terms of things I'm investigating. So most ridiculous is that there's something behind these portraits, or these portraits move and a door opens. So, gonna try that first.
Yeah, you walk up to those portraits and perhaps try to see if there's anything behind them. Both portraits move pretty freely. You will notice that both of them, the quality of the canvas, again, in a place like this that has been unmaintained for who knows how long, it's not holding up well. Looks like maybe some of the colors are smeared a little bit, or there's maybe some tatters in the canvas. Who knows if just because the doors were shut here when you first showed up, that doesn't mean raccoons have not found their way into this holy building over the last 100 years or so.
Or kids.
Or kids, even. Hey, kids don't have respect for the old vicar anymore. Generation Z will never respect the old vicar.
Ugh.
They think he's cringe. Anyway.
I mean,
and they're probably right. He probably was.
I was gonna say, I just dunked on this dude, so, like, clearly I do too.
Moving either portrait yields nothing, however.
Okay.
Other than to slightly continue to damage the paintings.
Alright, well, whatever. Sorry, white Jesus. So...
I imagine you'll be forgiven for that.
Yeah. My name is Saint. It's fine. Okay, so next,
the Parks and Rec I can do what I want joke, but it just says my name is Saint.
yeah,
It's fine.
God isn't offended by that, right? By me, like, specifically choosing to name myself a saint, right? That's cool?
No.
Okay, great.
He didn't even establish the sainthood.
Yeah.
That's a post-Christ invention.
Yeah. So, the Pope is just gonna show up later and be like, man, what the fuck? Next in my list of stupidity is I'm gonna go to the fake drawer with the cross on it and just try and, like, twist it and move it, like, try and push it, maybe see if it, like, does anything besides just, like, sitting there. Like, I just want to see if it just seems to be ornamental or if it has some other kind of purpose.
You twist the crucifix as you suggested, and as you do so, it gives way and you hear a solid click noise. Turned only 45 degrees to the right. The crucifix clicks, and one of the bookcases at the other end of the room swings open.
Yeah!
Oh, sick!
Woo!
Jinx.
My God, I'm gonna have to
Maddie.
change the audio level on that so hard. Yeah.
Maddie, did you not come to me?
I
last
did!
session?
I did! That's why I checked
I
the
see.
portraits first!
You said to me, Godfather Benjamin, please. I ask before but one thing. I just want a secret room at some point in this chapter. I said to you on the day of my daughter's wedding, you can have a secret room.
Oh, thank you, Ben. Oh, thank you. This is the best day of my life.
Please,
Smashing.
never forget what I have done for you on this
I
day.
will not. I promise you. I promise you, Godfather. I will not. I also will not ask you to do a murder for money.
Which is, of course, what happens in that
Yeah.
scene.
This one's still on my Godfather knowers. God, the third thing on the list was actually going to be able to check all the books on the bookshelf and see if there was anything, like, interesting. At this point, that's for later. Fuck that. I'm, like, running back out into the church proper. Have 10 minutes passed? I don't think so. I'm alive. I just turned...
it's probably been 4.
Okay, great. I just turned a thing, and a secret doorway opened.
Sorry. Alistair's, like, holding the IMF. I keep wanting to call it the IMF reader. That's a different thing.
Not quite. EMF reader.
This... Yeah, is like holding the EMF reader and just, like, turns around and, like... It like taking in how excited Saint is about this. Does the EMF reader have, like, an extendable, like, antenna?
Yeah, sure, why not?
Okay,
Yeah.
because I want the visual of him, like, push it, doing, like, okay, done with this, smack, antenna back in, and it's just like, you said secret door, and he's like, oh, he's clearly like, all right. I'm following you back to the secret door.
Cool. Let's get our flashlights and let's fucking go. Oh, I'm so excited. This is the best day of my life.
I'm just gonna take a quick peek at the, once you point out how it works, I'd like to just kind of take a second to look, not necessarily even investigating, just looking at it.
Maybe one of us should stay out here so we don't get locked in.
I mean, we could try to put something to, like, keep it from sliding back.
That's true.
Like a chair or something.
Did it swing or did it pull?
It swung.
Okay.
So if we, like, put, like, a chair,
then presumably
in between, like,
it
next
won't
to the
close. Yeah.
Unless somebody comes in and removes the chair and locks us in here, at which point I feel like we have a bigger problem.
I mean, either way, it won't close probably unless someone comes in here to fuck us over.
Yeah. So
we should... Do we want to... Oh, but that will take away the joy of us being able to investigate this together. Let's just put a chair there.
Let's just put a chair there.
And if we get trapped, we get trapped. We could play 7 minutes in heaven. Okay, let's go.
Yeah, something like that. I think Alistair kind of just takes a second to examine the, the part of the desk and the mechanism.
Yeah.
And I guess because he is capable of communicating out loud, I wonder if this is contemporaneous with the rest of the building, or if it was a later edition.
That is a very good question. I was wondering that also. Does it look like the cross is newer, or does it look as tarnished as some of the other stuff here?
It looks as tarnished as all the other stuff.
Okay. Well, I mean, it's built into the desk. That doesn't necessarily mean they didn't put the desk in later. But it's been here as long as the desk has been here, if I had to guess.
Okay, question. Way back in chapter 1, because I do occasionally remember things that happened on this show, I pulled something out of my ass in terms of dating antique furniture. Because I needed to appear cultured. I have a better memory.
I remember not knowing the answer and freezing.
I have a better memory for my, ass pull moments than anything else that happens on this show. Can I just take a guess based on the style and maybe if there are visible woodworking? Can I make a guess at all as to how old that desk is?
Was that during your conversation with the wife of the missing guy in the first house before you even met Jules?
Yeah.
Damn. Hell yeah. I also sometimes remember shit. Can you take a guess at this desk, however? Turn of the century?
Okay.
Probably older.
So it's possible that it's contemporaneous or nearly contemporaneous with the building.
You poke your head in through the darkness on the other side of the bookshelf and find yourself in a very kind of narrow corridor that maybe only extends to the side maybe a foot or two before beginning to drop off into a series of wood stairs leading down into some sort of sub-basement. If you thought it smelled dank and mildewy up here, just you wait until you go down into the 80-year abandoned sub-basement of this church. You shine your flashlight into the darkness ahead of you and see that there is luckily not very far to go down this terrible, half-rotten staircase into the depths. So there are small comforts in this world still. And in fact, you see a dirt floor at its very bottom. The two of you, I imagine, take a couple of cautious steps down the stairs. Maybe careful not to put too much weight onto any one step without gripping the side of the wall.
Yeah, probably one at a time also.
Definitely. I'm going to say there's a tangle of roots here or there along the side of, again, this dirt basement wall that you can grab in lieu of a proper handrail as you descend into this.
Just such a clear image of the two of us, at the top of the staircase going down into the basement. This is very evocative. And also looking at loam. Cool. We get down the stairs, okay?
Hopefully.
I roll athletics.
I wouldn't break anyone's ankles.
Okay.
You break your leg. No.
Hey!
The fuck? Was there anything on the EMF reader in the church proper when I was...
No.
Okay.
However, if you've left it on, you can hear it start to crackle a little bit as you descend into this basement. In the room, as you kind of shine your light around, you will notice that there is a substantially sized rug in this relatively small chamber. It is covering most of the ground so that the center of the room is itself not dirt. Although, again, with the passage of time, the fibers of this carpet have undoubtedly interwoven themselves with the moss that would have otherwise sprung up around it. Notably, at the end of the room, almost in parallel with the actual real consecrated altar that is in the church proper, there is a very small table, cobbled together maybe out of wood scrap, certainly not varnished with the same level of care of anything in the above church, that has a single black lit candle on it.
Lit candle?
I don't like that.
Yeah, lit candle.
How long has it been burning? Like, based on, like, height of average candle, like, shortness, etc.
You can't tell.
Oh, great.
What do you mean by that?
Oh, it just doesn't show any signs of ever having melted.
Ah, interesting. Okay.
Wonder if it's an electric one.
That would be the funniest possible.
That would be very fucking funny.
Okay.
Does it smell like it's a real candle burning?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, great! I love a
The eternal
There's,
burn. The eternal flames of hell.
What's the D&D item that does that?
Okay. Well.
The phrase "I would like to cast detect magic" almost came out of my mouth.
I mean, I did
system.
say I would like to roll detect lies earlier. So
That is true.
okay. Well, I'm gonna not touch that right now. I would like to investigate the rest of the room. I'll give you 10 minutes, and if you're not back in 10 minutes, you're dead.
What?
I was making a joke about, or like I was making a joke.
Yes,
like,
I was like, where am I though?
You can do whatever you want. We're in the same room. That's why it doesn't apply. That was the midge.
I guess I'd like to maybe take a knee and see if I can determine whether there was anything like ritual circles and shit drawn on the floor. I would also like to check the ceiling, see if there's any of that shit drawn on the ceiling. That's a popular one.
Time to get bedeviled.
Yeah, I would really... I don't want to get possessed. I have a hard enough time playing Alistair already. Playing possessed Alistair.
It might be easier if he was possessed, actually.
Maybe it would be. Oh, dangerous.
To get Beelzebubed.
Mm-hmm.
No evidence of weird ritual activity other than the eternal non-melting candle in the room that was already lit before you walked in. But there's no sigils on the wall, and there's nothing so base as a pentagram etched onto the table or anything like that.
Okay. Well,
anything else around the room, or is this kind of like that's the situation? We got any like shelves with canning jars, people making pickles down here, or?
It's funny you ask. If you turn your flashlight to the side, there are several large casks.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Several large barrels.
We got that devil wine.
Stacked up against the wall, of course, lengthwise, so that the heads of the barrels are facing outward toward the room.
Monk style. Yeah. Okay. One of my aspects is Veteran of the Damned. I would like to invoke Veteran of the Damned to try and get, like, a boost here, or try and determine, like, what is going on with this fucking candle. So I think that this is probably a lore roll, and I may or may not, depending on how good I roll, may invoke Veteran of the Damned. I have a +2 to lore, big money, no whammies. Okay, I rolled a negative, a neutral, and 2 positives. So that's gonna give me a 3. I'll live with that. I won't invoke my aspect right now. I'd rather save that. That's an okay roll. What I'm investigating is this fucking candle. And And I'm using my lore to look at it and see, like, does this look like any kind of, ritual I've seen before? Does it seem... What is this? Do I look at that and know, oh, I know what this is. I know what this invokes. I know, like, why this is happening, or who did something to make this happen, that kind of thing.
Sure. Whether it's real or not is, I guess, up to your interpretation, or perhaps, I guess that's kind of the point of the show, is that there's ambiguity. But whether it's real or not, you know that this kind of thing can be used for perhaps the control, summoning, warding off of perhaps evil entities, demons, ghosts, etc. Whether or not, whether it's real or not, people believe that it is.
So this kind of candle also can be used to ward off ghosts or whatever and also summon them.
It can be used in conjunction with other things to create various effects, but this is like the base part of the process is the candles.
And the fact that it seems like it's kind of a continuous burn would indicate that whatever someone did, that has already been done, probably, right? Is you light the candle as part of the ritual, and then the candle continues to burn.
It would seem that it's already in motion.
Okay. There's nothing else around the room to indicate potentially what that ritual was, it's just the candle left?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, alright. G, go about your business. Go on with your bad self.
So, this is one of those ones where I rolled 3 positives and a negative, which gives me a total of 2 on the dice. And that means this is a 6.
Damn!
You did, in fact, go on with your bad self on that one.
Are you also investigating the candle?
Yeah, I guess, because there doesn't seem to be anything else in the room. If there's no, like... You said there's nothing on the floor, there's nothing on the walls.
Barrels, carpet, candle, and stairs.
And there's nothing like worked into the carpet that seems like it might have been chalk or smells of sulfur or anything like that. Like,
I mean, it's a rug, not a carpet, right? Like, this is something that somebody laid down that can be picked up, not, like, installed carpet, right?
That's right.
Cool, can I pick up the rug and see if there's anything under it?
Yeah, you sure can. Over the years that it has been on the ground, as I believe I already said, there is almost a tangle of moss interwoven with the various fibers of that rug, such that peeling it up off the ground feels like tearing a Band-Aid slowly off of like leg hair.
Yuck, thank you.
Just the slow peeling process.
It's very evocative.
As you continue to peel it up, you are kind of greeted with a cacophony of little bugs and beetles that are kind of worming their way out of the Texan soil beneath you. But you are perhaps disappointed to find that there is nothing concrete under the rug. Nothing but the loamy soil of Texas.
I would know if I blow out the candle, I would essentially interrupt whatever ritual happened. Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not gonna do that.
I guess there's nothing else for me to look at besides the candle.
I mean, we could try and pop open the casks and see what happens. I assume they're wine, a la, once again, as I said earlier, like, monk behavior, but who knows, right? Like, it could be, that could be assumptions that get asked out of you and me.
Monks be brewing.
They do. They are known for their brewing. Yeah, I mean, we can. I
still think that the candle is the most, like... I mean, with your lore, you can always look at it and see, maybe you'll be able to tell, like, what kind of ritual happened.
Yeah. I guess that's... I'll just look to see if there are any identifying details about the it's like, can I glean anything else from, I don't know, what, like, do church altars face a specific cardinal direction?
Nah.
So it's under the altar. Is there anything, I guess I'll just, like, also be checking, like, is there anything weird about the table? Is there anything, like, holding the candle? Like, is the candle, like, in anything? You know, is it on, like, a dish? Is it on, like, I don't know.
Sure, let's say there's a nice silver dish underneath it.
Are any markings on the dish?
Nope.
God damn it.
So yeah. There's like a sprinkling of, just the tiniest sprinkling of ash around it.
Okay. I'm
indicating
about
potentially
that,
if something was burned.
But I might stick my nose up next to it and see if I can give it a sniff and perhaps determine what it was.
Smells like sunshine and children's laughter.
Oh, yay.
Yay.
Oh crap, we're sacrificing children's laughter.
Ah!
Oh, no! Oh, I didn't mean to imply that. By the thing Matty said, not me. The smell is indistinguishable from the dirt.
Okay, well, I guess I have no further narrowing or clarifying details. With a 6 lore roll, do I glean anything else besides or different from what Saint has determined?
You mentioned the barrels. Do you want to look at the barrels?
Sure, I'll look at the barrels. Yeah, I guess I'll look at the barrels. Are they tapped?
It would depend on how recently potentially someone had wanted to pop that bitch open, as the official phrase goes.
Yeah. Were we doing keg stands for the devil down here?
Or popping the biggest bottles when All Saints is confirmed.
No, that happens in chapter 10.
Keg stands for the devil sounds like a folk punk song.
Yeah, I know. Like, that's why I made that face.
That sounds like a Bridge City Sinners tune.
Alistair, as you approach the barrels, the very strong smell of whiskey mash permeates through these.
Oh, we're bootlegging over here.
I did make a joke about moonshine. I just didn't think that we were going to be committing to the bit.
I mean, it's not a bit if I wrote it down before you said it.
Yeah, no. I mean, if this dude was around in, like, the 20s or whatever...
That's right, Alistair. Mountain Dew, Homebrew, Mule Kick, Shine, Sneaky Pete, White Lightning, Corn Liquor, Pass Around, or Bootleg. You have stumbled into a bootlegging operation.
Yeah.
I just got the song, That Good Old Mountain Dew, stuck in my head.
I was like, I don't know what you're talking about right now.
I am listing synonyms for moonshine.
Okay.
The smell of whiskey mash permeates through the barrels. It's been down here for a minute. Whether or not this was a secret storage spot on some bootlegger's trail through the country, or if this place was involved in its production in any respect, is not known to you at this time. But what you are looking at is a solid 10 barrels full of some of the oldest, nastiest whiskey you can imagine.
Just Googling, does moonshine go bad? Once a bottle of moonshine is opened, the shelf life is only 2 to 3 years. However, that is if it's opened. If made and stored properly, moonshine should never go bad.
You want to risk your life, Alistair?
Not particularly.
I've seen as much as 30-year-olds still smooth and perfect.
What if it's more like, 4 times that?
I'm getting a really wide variety of options here. So the answer I would say is a solid maybe.
I think it probably depends on how
moonshine,
it's being stored.
Like other alcoholic beverages, may be kept on the shelf unopened for an infinite period, is distilled until no sugars are left. Traditional moonshine is as good as the distillation process is complete and no sugar is present. Nevertheless, keep in mind that not all moonshines are made equally. This is from a company that makes moonshine, so I believe.
I think there might be a difference between keeping it once you've bottled it and keeping it in
the keg.
Barrels. I don't know, but
you want to get fucking twisted in this demon basement?
I mean, God, I kind of do.
fuck Chapter 10. We will be popping the biggest bottles when All Saints happens tomorrow.
Yeah, we both of our characters, both of us get blackout drunk, and everyone, all of the listeners are left to imagine whether or not All Saints becomes canon.
Yeah. We don't know. Never talk about it ever again.
Ben will flip a coin and not tell us either.
I'll know in my heart, but I won't tell you guys. Ezra will also know in their heart, but we may have different answers. Who knows? Anyway, I mean...
Yeah, I think Alistair kind of, like, it takes a moment to examine these. It occurs to me that I don't know whether there's a point at which aging whiskey becomes, a negative factor.
Superfluous.
Whiskey too old, question mark?
Writing down in notes, whiskey - too old? Question mark. Unclear.
Do you...
Questions for Macy. Can whiskey go bad?
Submitting your notes to Agent Gray at the end of this mission, and he hands it back to you. No, you just have to be 21.
I just, like, we solved this
Alistair
mystery, and then we... Oh, Jesus.
Oh, different vibe this show has.
I hate that so much. No fears. No fears. Alistair's secretly 20 years old. One fear. No, I'm just imagining us solving this mystery and then just rolling 10 barrels of, like, 90-year-old whiskey into the back of the Lakeside bar and grill and just being like, all right.
Yeah, we have to take this for the government.
This is about you're about to make, like, we finally cracked the secret ingredient to making an Earth version of a pan-galactic gargle blaster. It's 90-year-old demon whiskey.
You know it, brother. Okay. Well, I don't know. I guess I can make a I guess I'm like, Can I take the EMF meter?
Yeah, you can totally take
Yoink.
the EMF reader. I would imagine this was probably part of a bootlegging operation, or one of ongoing attempts to avoid liquor taxes.
Something like that, yeah. I'm gonna run that meter by both the demon candle and the whiskey. Just out of curiosity's sake.
There is a crackle of spiritual energy when you wave the EMF meter near the candle. And when you wave it near the whiskey, you get nothing. It's whiskey.
I mean, you never know. You're the one who pointed us in that direction.
I appreciate you checking.
Yeah.
But no, the spiritual energy is intensified around the black candle.
Can I quick save?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna quick save. And blow the candle out and see what happens.
Oh, dang, okay.
Final answer?
No, I'm really nervous. I'm like, what if we get fucking vorped or whatever? I don't know. Also, what if that makes Philip go ham? Like, I have such a bad feeling about blowing that out, but I also feel like if I do it, like, I can guarantee something will fucking happen. I just don't know if that thing that's gonna happen is bad. That's why I quick saved, Ben! So I can quick load if everything went bad. We can always come back here. I suppose I'm just so scared that, like, something is gonna go, like, horribly wrong. But it might be really exciting horribly wrong?
Yeah, I mean, you can flip a coin on it. There's okay, I have two questions. Yeah. First question is, with that lore roll, do I have roughly a similar idea as to Saint, that, like, the fact that this candle is just burning with no impression of consuming the candle, that means that it is, like, an indication of some kind of ongoing supernatural effect?
Yeah, you could infer that absolutely.
Okay. Cool. Do you say anything about being like, maybe I'm gonna blow the candle out? Or are you just gonna reach over and do it?
I'm not. He's looking at the candle and is clearly thinking.
Okay.
Similar face to what I'm making right now, staring off into the void with like one finger on my mouth, just kind of like,
Okay, I think Alistair kind of comes up behind Saint to like also look at the candle. And looks between him and it, and is I gather this indicates some form of persistent supernatural effect.
Yeah.
Do you have any idea of what it might be? General nature of it?
No.
There's so few identifying features.
Yeah. I have no clue. I got nothing. Here's my list of potentialities. That this candle, if we're following the line, someone did something down here. God knows how long ago. Whatever that was, did something else. Or, unfortunately, someone did this down here to keep something else away. We don't know which one it is. Maybe they didn't want their fucking whiskey to become demon whiskey. Now, given the other things we've noticed, one must wonder if this is related to Philip, and if potentially this candle is related to his spirit, or is related to whatever he did, if he did some kind of ritual down here. I'm worried blowing this out will have an equal and opposite reaction. Now, that equal and opposite reaction might be letting loose something we don't want to let loose. No, I'm not blowing it out. The potential impact outweighs the potential bonus. I can't. We gotta leave it. I need steps away from the candle. That was me in, starting to list the pros and cons out loud, and once I got, 2 seconds in, I was like, nope, never mind. Done. The cons vastly outweighs the potential pros.
Said in character?
Yeah, that was him starting to say, nope, I can't do it, and then stepping back. And he's not gonna clarify further. That was me clarifying that why I abruptly cut myself off was because I started to talk aloud and then was like, nope, never mind, done.
I mean, I think Alistair can probably infer that that's...
Yeah.
And I think he kind of looks at it for a second longer, and does respond that my initial instinct would be to blow it out and disrupt whatever the effect is for the resulting data. But if you think it's more prudent not to interfere with something we can't recreate.
I'm gonna turn towards Alistair. And I'm gonna say, have you ever met a demon before? Now you get to decide
Not
that.
to my knowledge, no.
Are you ready to do that?
Well, I suppose that seems like the sort of thing where it's difficult to determine readiness in any other situation other than the live fire trial, as it were.
Then you're not ready. Ergo, we don't touch the candle. Because the likelihood of something coming is not zero. If this was meant to keep something away, if this was here to summon something, whatever it is may come to check it out. May come down here for a reason if it was meant to keep something away. And ergo, you are going to have to be ready to deal with that in the moment. And if you're not ready, then we don't touch it. It also might mean that whatever is happening with Philip, he may go haywire. He may be gone, and in a way that is not good for him, actually. Whatever that connection was, there are too many variables where something goes horribly wrong, and that data is not worth it to me. And depending on what it is, it might not be worth it to you either, after we make this choice. We can't light it again, if we don't know what the ritual was. We cannot undo that choice.
If there's a chance that it's a matter of the safety of potentially involved civilians, then yes, we leave it.
Well, if this is something, it's not a ton, but at least we know we can come back here if we need to. You want to see if those books on the case upstairs have anything interesting?
I just nod and I'll head back up and start poking around. I will also keep in mind that it might be worth it to poke through Philip's personal library again and see if this ritual matches anything.
That's a good idea.
In it. I guess we'll probably have to break back in there.
Ruh-roh!
That's fine. We're pretty good at that.
And that's a conversation that will have to happen next time. What you've been listening to was ParaScience, a glimpse into a world unknown. It is an actual play horror adventure told to you through the Fate system. Our players are Ezra Kaye as Man in Black Alister McAndrews, and Matty Trumbo-Gomes as capable young man St. Garcia Flores. As for myself, I was your game master and disembodied voice, Ben Hamlin. I also produced this show, with editing assistance by Matty Trumbo-Gomes. Our theme song was by the incorporeal Johnny Rinaldo, and our logo was created by the haunted visage of Terra Bosart. This show is brought to you by Infinity Break, where we're telling stories our own way. You can check out our website and all of our other shows at infinitybreak.net, and I would encourage you to join the haunted chorus of voices at the Infinity Break fan Discord, bit.ly/Infinity Talk. That's capital I Infinity, capital T Talk. We have a Patreon at patreon.com/Infinity Break, where you can start donating to Infinity Break for as little as $1 a month. Finally, if you listen through Apple Podcasts, don't forget to leave a review. Reviews help us rise in the podcasting charts and help more people stumble across our show like a body in the woods. That's all for now. Let ParaScience gaze back at you like a face in the mirror that isn't yours.